So when I heard the Garrett had a new machine out, I was super excited. I had the Ace 150, the Ace 250, hunting with a buddy who had the Ace 400, and I know that I helped a lot of friends and family get into the detecting hobby by buying Ace machines. And we went to the beaches and parks and everything and had a great time. I was super excited when I heard that Garrett came out with the new Ace Apex, the king of the Ace series, right? Multi-frequency. First thing I did was take a ride up to Placerville to see my buddy up there at the hardware store, Albert, and he was able to hook me up a good deal with one. And we'll take a look at that exchange here in a second, but this video is going to be all about the new Ace Apex, and we're going to take it out in the field and test it and run through some of the features and tell you what I think about it, give you my honest opinion. Okay, so here we go. The Ace Apex by Garrett. Comes with a 6" by 11" DD. That's a double D Viper search coil. And the coil is waterproof. And you get the 11" of length and the 6" of width, which is really nice for the narrow 6" footprint. But to be able to get that reach of the 11, you can cover a lot of ground and be able to get into some heavily infested iron areas with that 6" and really get in there and surgically pinpoint stuff. So excited about this. There's no seal on the box. Let's open it up. All right. So let's take a look at this bag right here. We have some cords, a couple different cables in here, charging cables. We have the nut to hold the coil on. Let's get that out real quick. Let's set that there for a second. Comes with a quick start guide and warranty information. No owner's manual. Again, this is probably something you can get online, but I know that when I got this, it didn't yet come with the owner's manual. However, the headphones do have an owner's manual. So you have a nice little headphones guide right there. And again, the 2 cables in there for charging. We're going to need this in a minute. Get that out real quick and take a look at it. So it's just a 2-piece. You have the bolt and the little nut. No rubber gaskets on this at all. I'm sure they're probably on the coil, or I mean on the shaft. Take a look at the headphones here. Okay, so these are the headphones and they feel very well made. I mean, hey, you could feel the quality in these right away. I mean, they're heavy and nice, and man, they just feel like they're really good quality right off the bat. The ear pieces are super soft with a leather-like texture. And it says Garrett Z-Link MS3 on the side with an on-off button, battery indicator, and a Bluetooth indicator, and a volume. Again, very impressed by the headphones already. Feels like they're built to last. And let's see here. Let's take this shaft out. It looks like both shafts are collapsed into one here. So I'm going to loosen this. And let's see here. There we go. So it has these little locking collars. You I mean, you don't have to tighten that very tight. It's just barely tighten it is all you would ever need. So you have a plastic lower. Yeah, there's a little bit of flex in that. It does flex a little. And then you have an aluminum with all these adjusters on here. There's at least 10 holes there. And both rubber pieces are already in there. Make sure you don't lose those. And let's see here. So the machine itself comes with the arm strap already on it, protective screen cover on here. I love the color on this yellow color. It's kind of an industrial look, but I like it. It's a nice looking yellow there, kind of a yellow orange color. Hey, look at that, the hard rubber handle now, kind of an ergonomic design there. It's a little wide in the middle, so it fits your palm just right. But no more foam like the old Ace series had. This new Ace Apex has a hard rubber handle, so I like that already. A lot easier to clean. and it feels pretty good. I mean, I don't see any adjustable holes or anything to be able to go this way with it, but it fits my arm right out of the box just fine. So let's see how this goes on. And then just tighten this. So that just popped right in there. And then I assume here we go. Just tighten this down. Again, don't over tighten these. They don't need any more than just snug. I mean, that's it. Any more than that, and you're just taking a chance on cracking these. I can tell right away that this type of plastic is not super strong. So, but it doesn't need to be as long as you do what you're supposed to do here. So once it's in there, it's a little bit of play here, somewhere in this area. Enough to annoy me, but not bad. And it's more of an up and down play than it is a left to right. So you may not even notice it when you're swinging it. But overall, it feels like a very nice design. And let's see what else we got here. Well, there's not a lot in the box. It's all kind of pre-built. Coil is right here. So there's the coil. Look at that coil. Isn't that nice, that shape? I mean, that's just so ideal. You get the 11 inches of length and the 6 inches of width. It's just about perfect for the kind of stuff that I do. It's a Garrett Viper Multiflex. And I know that this coil is probably not compatible with the older Ace series at all. And I would guess that the older series coils are not compatible with this one. So we'll try to confirm that before I get to the end of the video. But let's take a look at how this is attaches. So it just goes right in here, and you have a headphone jack right here. And I see that your headphones can kind of snake up from the back. You can bring your headphones through here and catch them in this little catch here and run them up along the handle maybe and into here. Not sure about that, but you would have an external headphone wire just kind of hanging around down here. We'll get to that point if we need to, when we need to, but I'm going to use the wireless headphones, so that's not really even an issue for me, but could be for somebody else that wants to run headphones on there. Let's go ahead and mount the coil on here real quick. So obviously the bolt would have to go through on this side because you have this wire here kind of in the way, so that's pretty self-explanatory there. There we go, that was easy. And I like the knurled handles on this. You can get a good finger grab on those without having to use a tool. How annoying is that when you're in the field and you have these too tight and you can't loosen them with your fingers? But these are good. These are easy to move with your fingers and shouldn't be an issue at all. Plug this in. That just pushes right in and screws tight. You can only put it in one way. It's keyed in there, so it will only go in the correct way. And just finger tighten that, and this machine is ready to go right out of the box. Hey, we're up and running in less than 3 or 4 minutes here. Okay, so you'll see that the screen has a protector on it. Pretty cool. You could just pull that off and expose a nice, fresh, clean screen underneath there. For right now, I'll leave the cover on. And I'm just checking these buttons out. They are rubberized, and I like that. They feel really good on the fingers. And this is another point that I've made before in other machines. One thing I don't like is the little grooves on this die-cut plastic between the rubber and the plastic there. You'll see that there's an area in there where dirt can get stuck, and pretty tough to clean that out when you have recessed buttons like that. But I do like the fact that they're raised and rubberized, and they have a good feel to them. They're very tactile when you push them. You can hear they're clicky, and it feels like they're well made. The whole entire control housing is very high quality. I'm very impressed with the control housing, and the way that they mounted it onto the shaft down here is done very well. I don't see any issues with that at all. So to turn this machine on, we just hold this top left button right here down for a second. You get the couple beeps there. You can see that I have the backlight on. And let's talk about this button over here for a second. The same button that turned it on also toggles through the modes. You can see right now I'm in 0 mode, and it toggles as you push it all through the other modes. And if we go back up to this 0 mode, for example, and you look at that bar across the top up there, you can see that there's black indicators all the way across from left all the way to the right. And if you look above that, it shows you on the meter up there that the left side is iron or ferrous, which is a word that means iron. And then going to the right, you see foil, non-ferrous, and eventually silver. So as you go to the right of this meter, it's showing conductivity. So a silver coin is going to show up in this top right corner somewhere over here. And a piece of foil is going to be in the middle. And a piece of iron is going to be on the left. And you would see the little dot above this line showing what's being detected. As we toggle through these modes here, you can see as I go down to coins, it's eliminating everything from foil down. From here down, it's not going to hear anything. It's going to ignore those signals. But the ones that are indicated here with these black line is going to be detected. So everything from foil all the way up to silver is going to be detected right now in coins mode. And if you go to US coins, you can see that this part right here is going to hear nickels. And then there's no US coins that come up in this little slot right here. So why go into that slot and dig when you're not going to find a US coin in there? What you are going to find in there is pull tabs. But pennies, dimes, quarters, and halves and dollars will all come up on the right side. So this is a custom setting just made for US coins. And we go to jewelry, and it's starting to accept a little more towards the left now, all the way down to foil. The reason for that is gold comes up in the foil range, especially small gold, gold rings and gold earrings, real gold, gold nuggets. They're all going to pop up down here on this left side. Small gold nuggets, that is. And let's go down one more to relics. And relics are just ignoring everything from the ferrous audio, or in other words, iron nails. Anything from that area is not going to be heard, but everything else will be. Very similar to the jewelry setting. And then the custom is you tell it where you want it to accept and reject. So right now, it's going to reject foil and all the way down into the nails and hear only things above foil. But for example, if you had a gold ring you were looking for and you knew that it was small and it was real gold and it would come up in that middle foil section somewhere, you could eliminate all the iron audio down on the left side over here and leave it blank, and do the same thing on this right side up here, and just have this middle section be active. And you could scan through, let's say, a volleyball court full of sand pretty quick and find the ring right away, and maybe find somebody else's ring too. So that's how that works. That's a custom one. And when you turn the machine off, turn it back on, wherever you had that custom setting last, it's going to remember that, and that's going to be your custom setting. Okay, so let's talk about this button right here at the top in the middle. That's your menu. And if you hit your menu button, you'll see right now it's in sensitivity, and I can turn that up. I have it turned all the way down so that you don't have to hear all that, because I'm in my garage and it's just hearing all the rebar on the floor. And for the video purpose, I have the sensitivity turned all the way down. But as you touch that button again, it goes to the next thing down, which is the volume of the machine. And you can hear it getting louder and quieter. So these are the up, the down and up buttons just adjacent to this button. And as we go to iron volume, really cool and very powerful feature right here. And I'll tell you why and how you should run this machine. You should run this machine so that your volume here is up pretty good to where you like it. Let's say 7, for example. But your iron volume is low. And what that does is it gives you a low grunt over iron as the machine's going across, but a high sharp beep, a little bit louder over the desirable targets. As long as you know you're hearing those nails, you know there's a really good chance you're going to find a cool coin or a relic, because that's where people were. They were right there where that house was. Back in the iron is where you want to be. So you want to hear all the iron. You don't want to ignore hearing iron. Iron helps you zero in on the good stuff, the good targets. And let's go back to this menu button again. And you can see that the next thing down is the frequency. And here's multi-frequency, and we could toggle through these right here. And you have all your different settings right here. So this is multi-frequency sand. It's a special setting just for hunting in sand. And then you have 5 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 15 kilohertz, and 20. So you have multi-frequency sand for hunting in wet sand, specifically around salt water. Then you have 5 kilohertz, 10, 15, and 20. It only goes from 5 to 20. And if you're hunting in multi-frequency, it's scanning all of those frequencies at once. And what do these mean? What do these frequencies mean? Well, simply stated, 5 is a little bit deeper, and it's going to hear coins, for example, silver coins that are really deep, and it's going to ignore smaller stuff on the surface. 10 is another one that's going to be punching real deep for silver coins, but still give you a chance to hear some of the smaller stuff on the surface. And as you go up into like 20, this is going to hear small earrings right on top of the grass, or a gold nugget, for example, that's really small. For more information on that, you should check out the owner's manual and other videos that talk about the frequencies. But this is a standard technology that's used in a lot of machines these days. There's a lot of good multi-frequency machines out there. And the reason is because when you're in multi-frequency, you're scanning everything. So let's take a look at the channels here. I clicked it again, I'm in channel, and you can see that there are only 8 channels. And these channels right here are, if you turn your machine on and there's 3 of you out there with the same machine, and you're all on channel 3, you're going to get crosstalk between your machines. So one of you could be on channel 1, for example, another one could switch to 4, and the other one could switch to 7. And that way, you're all clear of each other as far as the channels go. And this is also true if you're hunting next to a different machine from a different manufacturer and you're getting interference with each other. You could simply just change channels and probably knock out a lot of that interference. Same thing goes with overhead wires. If you're right under overhead wires and you're getting a lot of interference, change the channel. And that's it for the menu there. You can see again, it's sensitivity, volume, iron volume, the frequency, kilohertz, and the channels. When we first start out, we want to do a ground balance, and we'll hold this button down right here, and we'll show you an example of that right now. All right, we're going to ground balance it, and to do that, make sure that you're not anywhere near signals. Try to get to a nice piece of ground where there's not much going on, because you want the machine to analyze the dirt, not the items that are around inside the dirt. You want it just to listen to the dirt, and what we're going to do is hold down the ground balance button, keep it held in, and pump the machine like this, and you'll hear that the machine will settle down at some point after a few seconds, and it'll get nice and quiet, and then you could let go and go ahead and start detecting. And that's it. Okay, so let's do a pinpoint now. I have a nickel right here on top of the grass so I can see it. And I'm going to hold down this button here in the center while I'm swinging over the nickel. And with it held in, you can hear the audio changes now. And when the nickel is directly under the center of the coil, it's the loudest that it can get, right there. You can go left and right, and you can also go this way. And another thing you should do is, as you go left and right this way, pinpointing, turn 90 degrees and do it again. And you'll get a real good idea of where that nickel is. And the nickel is going to be right here in the center. It's directly in the center of this coil. Okay, to pair the headphones together, we have the Z-Link headphones. We'll turn the machine on first. And then with the menu, toggle through all the stuff on the right till you get to the flashlight. And one more time up to the headphones, hit the plus sign, and then turn the headphones on by holding the power button. The blinking light will turn red when it's successfully paired. And you can see the Bluetooth icon in the center of the headphones. And you see the steady light, you know you're connected. And it's that simple. To disconnect it, you could go through the menu and then hit minus sign, and it will disconnect it. Okay, we're going to put the Ace Apex through its paces today, and what we did is kind of a test. We brought some of these flags out here, and I have my cameraman with me to help me. He was using the XP Deus, and I had the CTX by Mind Lab here, and we kind of walked around. He went down that way and I went over here, and we used those machines that we know and we're very comfortable with, and we found some targets and marked them with flags. Really super deep. I mean, it's at the highest level of the depth gauge over here. It's all the way down to 8 inches to 10. It's deep, we know that. Let's recheck it.
Oh, I heard something out there.
Yeah. Okay, it's over here. It's in this clump. There it is right there. Ooh, is that apothecary weight?
Yeah.
That is probably an apothecary weight. Boy, sure looks like it, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It is one, yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's an apothecary weight. We love finding those. So
Big one, too.
this is a scale weight that came in a set, and you had the 2 scales that you weigh gold with, and this is one of the weights that would tip it and, you know, have a fixed amount on it. Probably says something on it, like 1 dram or 1 pennyweight, or of course this one's a lot more than a dram or a pennyweight. But anyway, I think that's a scale weight, pretty sure. So. Ooh, this is a 90. 90. 88, 90, 92. It's the highest one I've had yet, so. 4 inches. It's a memorial penny. So that came up a 90 on this machine. That's interesting. I mean, it's one of the copper ones, but wow, that's a high number for a penny on any machine. I mean, the scale only goes to 100, so. But it sounded good, and it was. It's a coin, you know, so. All right, let's check another hole. Ooh, that sounds good. 81, 82 solid. Look at that, sound solid, solid ID. All right, that sounds good. I don't see anything yet. It's definitely in this clip right here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right here, this little ring. It's one of those flat rings. It's not a washer because it's round on one end and kind of flat on the other. It could be part of a suspender clip, but I don't think it's a bushing, or I'm sure it's period, whatever it is, from this site. So, cool. Okay, it's a wrap. So my final thoughts on the Garret Ace Apex. I will tell you that I did have a lot of fun with this machine, took it to a few different sites, found some cool stuff, and I talked to a couple of reps over at the company through email, did some research on it, had a good time. I have a whole lot of pros and not a lot of cons, but I will say there is one problem this machine has, and that is at this price point, it has some stiff competition. And that's the fact that it has multi-frequency does help it set itself above a lot of the rest of the field out there. But then again, there are other machines from other manufacturers that offer the same technology. But all in all, my only real complaint about this machine was 2 small things. One, again, with the buttons right here, that dirt can get trapped in those little cracks. I did not like the flexibility of the lower shaft. So I took it out in the field and went head to head with a couple other machines at this same price point. And I was thinking that this machine was lacking at first because it wasn't hearing a lot of the signals. They didn't sound so good on this machine that the other machines were telling me were good. And I thought, boy, this is missing some stuff. And then all of a sudden it flipped on me when I realized that this machine was only hearing the good stuff. And that's a fact. A lot of the other machines that I thought were doing better turned out that they were on junk, and this was only hearing the good stuff. So all in all, I think that when it went head to head with other machines in this price range, it did much better at hearing the good stuff. So keep that in mind when you're looking to buy a machine. And if I can answer any questions about the machine, feel free to ask me. You can email me down below. I answer every single comment and every email. My email is in the description. And I look forward to the next one. We'll catch you later. Take care.
This segment is brought to you today by Placerville Hardware, the first hardware store west of the Mississippi. Located in beautiful and historic downtown Placerville, they feature a full selection of detectors, digging tools, and mining equipment.